So there's a thought this morning. I don't know about if anyone has been feeling a lot of energy since the whole full moon that just happened. um, it's a very powerful one. But what I wanted to talk about is I find there's so much sexual energy because it's very powerful moon, very feminine. And I find myself actually feel the need to study the female reproductive organs. And the reason is I had to meditate on this to try to find out why does my soul, because this is like a soul, when it's like a full moon, especially this was very divine feminine. The soul is very, very feminine, right? Divine feminine for men. It's very divine feminine. For women, it's a very divine masculine that takes more presence internally. Because in the past, there's been a lot of neglect and disrespect towards women in my past. Sexually, it's basically just having sex without being very present. And there's a lot of that trauma and that wound that wants to purge, that wants to live. So I basically been spending time, although my background is in Western medicine. I'm a PA, a physician assistant, for a long time, over 10 plus years. But now I'm more into spiritual medicine. That means seeing things from the spiritual perspective, because there's so much that we don't see. There's things we see on the physical, all the organs from anatomy perspective and physiology, but there is a spiritual energy. The Mandarin points and all those trigger points from the Eastern that talks about now, there is also a spiritual eye that can also guide you to see things that a physical eye cannot see. I say this because it's very important that we have a spiritual body and a physical body. When the physical body does not work, you have to go into the spiritual body, which is the one that is connected to God. That's where a lot of miracles happen that man cannot explain. And this is most of the time we go into that spiritual journey, we started tapping into our spiritual body. We have to transition, shift into that. When we start feeling like empty or not feeling complete, the spiritual essence is calling you to come back in so you can find the balance. The dark and the light fuse as one. That's like the yin and the yang. That's when the feminine will call you in. The same thing, the masculine will call you in, the divine masculine. So we go through those phases in life. So I realized that he wanted me to study the feminine reproductive organ to basically learn to appreciate and have respect for it. So this is an advice that I would give a lot of men out there. I know we just look at these things as, oh, just go have sex, go tap that, go grab that, without no respect for it. And a lot of us, because of how the society is, how we grew up, our peers, so we end up basically just doing things without being more present or having more appreciation. And if we are truly, truly connected to the divine feminine, could you imagine how much healing and how much power, how much grounded and how much like at peace that we can be? Because a sexual energy, a sexual intimacy is a very powerful sacred thing. And our ancestors knew not to mess with something like that. Now it's so prevalent and easy for everybody to just want to go and have sex, but they don't understand what they're doing. So I find myself literally today looking at sexual reproductive organs, men and women, specifically women, to understand from the fallopian tube to the uterus to the cervix, everything. And for me to have more appreciation and be aware and present of exactly what it is that we are doing, because a lot of us are doing things. It's like a robot. You know, you have 1, 2, 3 steps that you use. You know who you are, brothers. You think every move works. We're in different dimension now. The dimension that we are in now is different. It's not going to work anymore. The soul wants more. It wants more groundedness. It wants more presentness. It wants you to be present. It wants you to be part of the experience. It's very sacred experience. So I wanted to share this. And I know that a lot of you understand what I'm talking about. Take time. Understand what you're doing, whatever you are into. Take time to know yourself, understand your reproductive organs, understand how it works, understand what goes on. You really need to, on a spiritual space, not watching porn. I'm not telling you not to. But if you take the time to understand these sexual organs and actually have your soul teach you the higher perspective of it, you have more respect. So this is my full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse, and the moon eclipse experience. It's making a lot of men, I'm sure probably a lot of men are feeling this energy, to be more grounded sexually, in terms of having more, releasing any old wounds or any old traumas or any old negative ways of looking at a feminine organ, or looking at her in a very objective way, or something to enjoy but not a lot of respect. If you're feeling that, I'm sure you understand what I mean. Take time to get to know it, understand it, and so you can have more, so that it will serve you, not serve you, but it will work with you. I know this fact, that once you have a lot of respect for yourself, and you love yourself, and when you are intimate with someone, I can promise you, you're not gonna have no sexual problems. You're not gonna have no intimacy issues, because the spirit knows you are one with it. And a lot of sexual issues or illnesses or diseases or infidelities or people not able to get pregnant or have child, a lot of it is because of there's so much traumas out there. There's a lot of trauma that needs to be healed. You got to clean the house. You got to clean out the closet. You got to remove all those judgments and all these things you're holding on to there, because everything is there. You gotta clean that out. You gotta release your exes. You gotta release the father, the mother, the family, all those things. You gotta release all those political nonsense, like the political sense. Everything is sense. That stuff is nonsense. It doesn't go into those stuff. It loves. So don't bring the human shit down there. And that's what we do. And that's the reason why we have all this discomfort. We have all these things, because it's us bringing all those things into a place where it doesn't belong. So take your time. Take your time. A lot of women do this. A lot of women do this after their relationship. A lot of movement of women going through their whole process of cleansing. But it's important that you understand, especially men, that it's vital that we start paying attention to the female reproductive organs. Study them, understand it, meditate on those images, and actually have your subconscious mind and your spirit mind connect with it, so that you can have this deeper understanding and deeper respect of it. It will change your life. I don't look at it the same way. That does not mean I'm still not a man of staring when I see a beautiful woman. I do. I live in Miami, okay? Miami Beach. So this is paradise for that. I do. But it's more of appreciation of beauty. But it's not of lust of, let me go do that. And I think there's gonna be more that's gonna come from this that happened for me today. Taking time, studying the fallopian tubes, the uterus and the ovaries, studying everything, the cervix, the vaginal organs and all those things. It's fascinating. I studied this when I was in medical school, but I memorized it. That's what we did. We memorized stuff. We memorize these things so we can get by. Nobody is present in medical school. Nobody is present in Western medicine. Everything is memorized, pass, move on, memorize, pass, move on. No one is present. Eastern medicine is a little different because it's the study of within. The East is air, so it's of within. So you have to go in, and in is limitless energy. So it will force you to go within and to be one with whatever it is that you want to understand or be one with, have clarity on. So there you have it. Western is physical body. It makes sense why everything is anatomy. And Eastern is air. It's more of the inner, the mind, the spiritual body, the in that becomes out. So please take your time. Get to know thyself. And she is part of you. Once you understand it, you become one with it. I can promise you, fam, or my lady, you will be the best lover because you will understand the frequency and the vibration and the communication that is being sent to you. You will actually understand. Some people go into deep meditation in the intimacy. You can have a sexual intimacy, but you get a lot of awareness. You can go into sexual meditation once you understand. You actually understand. You have a relationship with it. You could literally go into this deep trance of sexual meditation and you be able to have clarity, have an understanding, because you have a much deeper spiritual, godly relationship with it. Remain sexy, remain blessed, and listen to Marvin Gaye. Sexual healing. Gabriel out.